Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When I say be the woman he can't walk away from, I ain't talking about tricks, looks, or temporary attraction. I'm talking about becoming the kind of woman whose presence shakes a man to his core because he knows if he loses you, he's losing something real. Value yourself so highly that walking away from you feels like losing a blessing. That right there is the foundation of everything. You see, the way you see yourself determines how other people see you. If you see yourself as an option, others will treat you like one. But when you carry yourself like you're the prize, like your presence is something special, people start recognizing that too. A woman who values herself doesn't need to prove her worth to anyone. Her energy speaks before her words ever do. When you walk into a room knowing who you are, you don't need validation. You don't need someone to tell you you're beautiful, smart, or enough. You already know it. And when you know it, that confidence becomes magnetic. A man can't walk away easily from a woman who carries that kind of power. See, a blessing is something people don't want to lose. A blessing adds peace, adds growth, adds joy. When you're that kind of woman, when your presence makes a man's life better, when your absence makes him think, reflect, and realize what he had, then you become unforgettable. But it doesn't start with him, it starts with you. It starts with knowing that your value isn't determined by who chooses you, but by how you choose yourself. Because when you truly understand your worth, you stop chasing love that doesn't serve you. You stop begging for attention that should come naturally. You stop shrinking yourself just to fit in someone else's life. You can love deeply, but still know when to pull back. You can care, but still have boundaries. Valuing yourself doesn't mean you become cold or hard. It means you become wise. You recognize when someone's energy is draining you. You recognize when someone's effort doesn't match yours. You start protecting your peace the same way you protect your heart. And that's when things change, because a man will always respect what he can't easily replace. He can find beauty anywhere, but peace, loyalty, and self-respect, those are rare. When he realizes that your love came with calm, with consistency, with care, he won't treat it lightly. But don't wait for him to see your value before you believe in it. Walk like you're already blessed. Talk like you're already chosen. Move like you know your worth is not up for negotiation. When you do that, you naturally attract better things, better people, better opportunities, better love. And if someone walks away, you don't crumble because you know what's leaving you was never meant to stay. You trust that the right person won't make you question your value. They'll recognize it, respect it, and rise to meet it. So value yourself so deeply that walking away from you feels like losing something sacred. Be so full of self-respect that a man knows if he ever loses you, he didn't just lose a woman, he lost a blessing he might never find again. A man respects what he earns, not what he's handed. That truth applies not just to money or work, but to love, to relationships, and to how people treat one another. When something comes too easily, it often gets taken for granted. But when a man has to show up, put in effort, and prove himself to a woman who knows her worth, that love becomes valuable to him. Because effort builds respect, and respect builds commitment. A man doesn't value what costs him nothing. He values what challenges him to be better, what pushes him to grow, what makes him feel like he's won something meaningful. That's why the woman who doesn't just hand over her love, her time, and her loyalty right away, but instead makes him earn her trust, becomes the woman he can't walk away from. When you give too much too soon, you rob a man of the chance to rise to the occasion. You take away the chase, the purpose, the satisfaction that comes from showing up for something real. But when you set boundaries, when you make him understand that your heart isn't a giveaway, but a reward for consistent action, you elevate how he sees you. You teach him that love isn't about convenience, it's about effort. And the truth is, every man knows the difference between something that came easy and something that required work. He might enjoy the easy, but he respects the earned. Respect lasts longer than attraction because attraction fades, but respect creates loyalty. When a woman sets her standards high, she doesn't push good men away. She filters out the ones who were never serious. The right man isn't intimidated by earning your love. He's inspired by it. He wants to step up to prove that he deserves the space in your life. And that's how you separate the temporary from the timeless. You see, a man will invest in what he believes is valuable. If he sees you giving your energy freely to anyone who asks, he won't feel the need to give his best. But if he sees that you require honesty, consistency, and respect, he'll know that being with you means something. Never apologize for expecting effort. Never feel bad for wanting to be pursued, because when you make a man work for your heart, you teach him how to treat it once he has it. And once a man realizes he had to grow, had to change, had to show up differently to be worthy of your love, that love becomes sacred to him. He won't walk away easily because deep down, he knows he earned something rare. So don't give your worth away. Let him earn it. Let him see that you're not impressed by words, but by consistency. Because at the end of the day, the woman he can't walk away from is the one who made him rise to meet her value. And once he's tasted that, no other love will ever feel the same. Don't chase attention, command respect. That's one of the most powerful lessons a woman can learn in love, in life, and in how she carries herself. When you chase attention, you give your power away. You start trying to prove your worth to people who haven't even earned the right to experience it. But when you command respect, you shift the energy completely. You stop performing for validation and you start standing firm in who you are. Respect lasts longer than attention because attention fades the moment something new shows up. Respect, though, that stays. It's rooted in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you handle situations, and how you treat yourself when no one's watching. A woman who commands respect doesn't need to beg for love or prove her place in someone's life. Her confidence speaks before she even says a word. She doesn't post or act for applause. She lives by principles that tell the world, this is who I am and this is what I deserve. She's not rude, but she's firm. She's not loud, but her silence carries power. Men might be drawn to beauty, but they stay for respect, because beauty may catch a man's eye, but respect captures his soul. When you chase attention, you attract the wrong kind of energy. You attract people who like the idea of you, but don't value the reality of you. You attract men who are entertained by your presence, not invested in your peace. But when you command respect, you set a tone that says, if you want access to me, bring something real to the table. And that's how you separate boys from men. Boys want attention. Men value connection. Boys want fun. Men want meaning. And that's exactly why a man can't walk away from a woman who stands on her self-worth. Respect starts with how you treat yourself. When you speak down to yourself, when you accept less than you deserve, when you allow disrespect to slide, you're teaching people how to treat you. But when you honor yourself, protect your peace, and demand to be treated with dignity, people fall in line or they fall away. Either way, you win, because the right kind of man will never be intimidated by a woman who respects herself. He'll admire it. He'll rise to it. He'll understand that he can't come with half effort and expect full access. The truth is, attention is cheap, but respect is earned. Anyone can get noticed. Not everyone can be valued. You don't need to be the loudest woman in the room to be remembered. You just need to walk with confidence and live with purpose. Because once you learn to command respect, you'll notice something powerful. People stop testing you. Men start valuing you. And love stops being a game. And that's when you become unforgettable, because a woman who commands respect is a woman a man can't walk away from. Keep your standards high, because your worth sets the tone for how you're treated. Every woman needs to understand that what she allows becomes what she accepts, and what she accepts becomes the pattern of her relationships. Standards aren't about being picky or difficult. They're about knowing your value. When you have high standards, you're not saying you're better than anyone else. You're saying you know what you bring to the table, and you refuse to settle for anything less than respect, honesty, and consistency. A man who's serious about you will rise to meet those standards, not try to make you lower them. The truth is, when a woman drops her standards to keep someone, she ends up losing herself in the process. You start making excuses for behavior that disrespects you. You start accepting half effort and calling it love. And little by little, your light starts to dim. But when you keep your standards high, you remind yourself that your peace, your happiness, and your dignity are not up for compromise. The right man won't be scared off by your expectations. He'll be inspired by them. Because a real man doesn't want a woman he can walk over. He wants a woman he can walk beside. Setting standards doesn't mean you build walls around your heart. It means you build doors with locks that only open for those who deserve access. When a man knows he has to earn your trust, your time, and your affection, he takes the process seriously. He becomes intentional because he knows a woman like you doesn't come around often. And that's the difference between being wanted and being valued. Anyone can want you for what you look like or what you offer in the moment, but only a man who respects your standards will value who you are at your core. The world will try to tell you that having standards will make you end up alone. But the truth is, lowering them will make you feel lonelier in a relationship than you ever will by yourself. There's nothing empowering about accepting less than what your heart deserves. High standards attract high quality love. When you demand effort, consistency, and respect, you filter out the people who were never meant to stay. You protect your heart from temporary love and open it up to something lasting. A woman with standards shines differently. She's not impressed by temporary gestures. She's drawn to real character. She's not chasing validation. She's waiting for alignment. When you live by your standards, you show others how to love you correctly. And when a man realizes that your standards are rooted in self-respect, he knows walking away from you means walking away from a woman who held him to a higher version of himself. That's what makes you unforgettable, because a woman who knows her worth doesn't just attract love, she inspires it. Be soft in love, but strong in boundaries. That balance is what separates a woman who gets taken for granted from a woman who gets respected. Love isn't about losing yourself to prove your care. It's about giving your heart without giving away your power. Being soft in love means showing compassion, patience, and understanding. It means you know how to love deeply and sincerely. But being strong in boundaries means you know where to draw the line. It means you love with grace, but never allow anyone to play with your peace. A man can fall for your softness, but he'll stay for your strength, because a woman who can love him and still stand up for herself earns both his respect and his admiration. Too often, women confuse love with tolerance. They think if they love someone enough, that person will change. But love without boundaries turns into sacrifice. It becomes one-sided, draining, and painful. You start giving more than you receive, and before you know it, you're holding on to someone who no longer fits your soul. But when you set boundaries, you teach people how to treat you. You show them that your love is a privilege, not a right. You let them know that kindness doesn't mean weakness. You can care deeply and still walk away from what's hurting you. That's real power, loving someone, but loving yourself enough not to lose your peace in the process. Being soft in love also means not letting bitterness harden you. Life and relationships can be tough, and heartbreak can make you want to shut down completely, but don't let pain change your essence. Stay kind. Stay loving. Keep your gentle heart. Just make sure your heart has wisdom protecting it. When you combine empathy with strength, you become unstoppable. You stop reacting out of emotion and start responding with clarity. You no longer chase love. You allow it to meet you halfway. You no longer tolerate disrespect just because you care. You choose peace over chaos, self-respect over validation, and truth over comfort. A man will notice that kind of balance. He'll see that you're not just loving, you're grounded. You're not just giving, you're discerning, and that makes you stand out because most people don't know how to blend love with strength. They're either too closed off or too open, too guarded or too giving. But the woman who can say, I can love you deeply, but I won't lose myself doing it, becomes unforgettable. That kind of woman doesn't beg for attention. She attracts respect. She doesn't have to threaten to leave because her boundaries speak louder than her words ever could. Be soft in how you love, but firm in what you allow. Love fully, but never blindly. Give freely, but not endlessly. The woman who learns to love with an open heart and protect it with strong boundaries becomes the one no man can walk away from, because she brings both peace and power to his life. The woman he can't walk away from is the one who knows who she is with or without him. That kind of woman carries an energy that speaks before she even opens her mouth. She doesn't need a man to complete her. She's already whole. Her happiness doesn't depend on who stays or who leaves. She has built a life that feels full, meaningful, and grounded in purpose. When a woman truly knows who she is, she becomes magnetic, not because she's chasing love, but because she embodies it. Her sense of self is her power. She can stand beside a man, but she doesn't shrink behind him. She supports him, but she doesn't lose herself in his shadow. And that kind of presence leaves a mark that no man can forget. A woman who knows herself walks differently. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She chooses herself every day. She doesn't fight for attention. Her confidence draws it naturally. She understands her flaws, but doesn't let them define her. She's not perfect, but she's real, and realness is rare. When a man meets a woman like that, she challenges him not with words, but with her peace, her strength, her vision. She makes him realize that it isn't about possession, it's about partnership. Because she doesn't come to take from him, she comes to build with him. She's already fulfilled within, so her love becomes an addition, not a lifeline. Knowing who you are means you don't bend just to fit someone else's comfort zone. You don't silence your voice to keep the peace. You don't accept less because you fear being alone. You trust that what's meant for you won't require you to lose yourself to keep it. That's a level of maturity that only comes when you've faced pain, grown through loss, and learned to find peace in your own company. It's not arrogance, it's self-awareness. It's knowing that you can be soft without being small, loving without being dependent, giving without being depleted. A man might be drawn to many women, but he can't easily walk away from the one who stands firm in her identity, because deep down, he knows that kind of woman doesn't come around often. She doesn't love out of fear or desperation. She loves from abundance. She brings balance to chaos, clarity to confusion, calm to pressure. She doesn't need to control him because she already controls her emotions. She's not afraid to walk away if something no longer serves her, not out of pride, but out of peace. And that makes her unforgettable. The woman who knows who she is, with or without him, teaches him what real love looks like. It's not clingy, It's not desperate. It's not conditional. It's strong, stable, and freeing. Her presence adds value, but her absence is deeply felt. And that's why he can't walk away. Because once a man experiences a woman who stands firm in her identity, he knows he may never find that kind of strength, peace, and authenticity again.